Just give me a mark if you can hear me. If we're live, just give me a thumbs up. Oh, there we are. We're live. Hey, everyone. Well, it's been a long couple of months, and we're incredibly excited uh, to share the latest unconventional episode filmed in Alaska with the Alaska National Guard. Probably one of the coolest places we've traveled to. Really amazing people. And we are excited to count down with you. Oh, wow, we're getting to the 30s. Let's see if we can get to 100. Then we'll launch this rocket. Um, for those that don't know, my name is Naveed Jamali. I host Newsweek's Unconventional. It's a show that covers the young women and men in uniform today, and we get to travel to some really cool places. We've flown in a B-2 stealth bomber, a B-52 bomber, aircraft carriers, and then, of course, Alaska. So we were Alaska in Anchorage. Really cool stuff. Got to, again, I can't even, words sometimes fail how amazingly beautiful Alaska is. And flying 80 feet off the ground in a Chinook with the doors open, with a Black Hawk behind you, was pretty freaking wild. So we're really excited to share this episode. And there's a bunch of people here. They don't want to be on camera, so I've been elected to do it. But we have a really great team, and we're really excited to share this stuff with you. So with that, I'm going to give 10-second countdown to light this candle. So here we go. Totally like fake. There's no one here. All right, ready? You guys want to count with me? Yes. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeti. All right, so it's launched. You can check it out on the Unconventional Newsweek channel. You can see, is it there? I'm waiting. There it is. There it is. You're watching me live. So while the page is refreshing, I just want to again thank the Alaskan National Guard. Really amazing women and men. One of the coolest missions that they have, and I mean that both literally and figuratively. When we were out there, it was so cold. There it is. I mean, yeah. Come on. That's like us in that thing. Like, how awesome is that? And these people get to do this. He was super cool, the general. The slow Hulk montage walking away with the snow crunching. The Chinook, again, the Chugach Mountains, which is just where we were flying through. It was amazing to kind of look up and see the top of the mountains. Just amazing stuff. But again, I just want to talk just a quick second about the Alaska National Guard. Super cool people, super chill. And again, I mean that both literally and figuratively. Really cool mission. And, one of the amazing things about the Alaska National Guard is not just the fact that it's in Alaska, which of course is hugely important. Many people don't know this, but it performs the mission of the Guard that, other Guard units do in the other 48, but it also has a national security mission, right? It's not that far from Russia, from parts of Alaska. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes on to the national defense of the entire United States and North America, candidly. So the Alaska National Guard is one of the few guards out there that actually does stuff on a national security level pretty much daily. Really cool. I hope you checked out the episode. Let's see if we can get to 100,000 in 48 hours. Can we do that? I know we can do it. Again, please, I have to just say one thing, which is something like 90% of you watching videos aren't subscribed. So please, if you watch, make sure you subscribe. It makes all the difference to us. It helps us keep making these great videos. And yeah, check it out. It's live. Let's, do we have people? Can you see if people are watching? Yeah. They're giving me the yes sign. Make sure you follow the Alaskan National Guard on their social media. They do some beautiful pictures. I mean, it's hard, even if you had like an eye patch and like no depth perception, it's really hard to not take beautiful shots of Alaska. But they still do amazing photography. And if you're an aviation buff or you're an Alaska buff, there's some really cool stuff there. So, and Dana, our good friend, he was one of the amazing public affairs officers that came with us. Can we see any questions from any of the other platforms, or is it all going to come through here? You don't know? What do you think? Another 2 minutes? Should we cut it off now? Still climbing. Like the people we're 300 people. Okay, all right. We have 300 people watching. I expect that. I expect that we're going to have 311. Every one of you should be subscribed to the channel. Yeah, this is doing great. I'm just, Dana, I think we can tell them our plan as of right now, and make sure you let the Alaska Guard know after watching this episode. Do you want us to go back to Alaska, but not in the winter? I do. I mean, I absolutely do. So, but it's what you all want us to do. It is. It really is. The United States is one of the most beautiful countries in terms of like just sheer natural beauty. The Pacific Northwest, Hawaii, but Alaska is like, I don't know. To be honest, the Alaska might be number one in terms of the sheer beauty. So we are thrilled to be able to do this. And again, the episode is just as much about the Guard as it is about Alaska. Let me know what you think once you've watched it. I read every comment. We're pretty good at trying to respond. But yeah. Oh, I should say we're in the 72nd floor of Newsweek's World Trade Center office. You can sort of see, if you can see, but that's the Empire State Building. It's probably blown out from the light, but we couldn't be two different like environments, right? Here we are in Manhattan, where there's probably more people, if I'm not mistaken, in New York City than there probably are in a good chunk of Alaska. Yeah, thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. Have a really good team, and we really enjoy, trying to make it's not hard to make Alaska look pretty awesome. I think if you're not making it awesome, you're doing something seriously wrong. So, all right. Yeah, we should cut it. Renee is saying we've been on for 8 minutes. She's saying I've been about 7.5 minutes too long. All right. I will give another 30 seconds. Any questions? Again, please. Holy cow. It's like, I want to get off, but it's like almost at 500 people watching this live, which I think is pretty good, right? Yeah? They're telling me that's good.
Very good.
Very good. Usually it's just my family watching, and they're always critical. So actually, the best test for this, 12 and 15-year-olds watched this, and they loved it. They actually watched it twice, which is a pretty good sign of and they don't watch anything. Fairbanks, I think we want to go back to Fairbanks at some point, or want to go to Fairbanks. Shirley, it's a question you should direct to Dana and the Alaska Guard. No, we do want to go back. I think it's a question of making it work. So, yeah. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, do you want to pause the video? There. Have you guys seen the other episodes? I know if you're here, you're not watching the episodes. So I'll cut you some slack, but don't tell the Air Force or the other branches. But this is probably one of our best episodes. I think it's safe to say it's just really beautifully shot and just really cool.
Tell us something fun that you guys experienced
something fun we experienced in Alaska.
Something funny.
I've never experienced my eyelashes freezing. But they did. Uh, there's a part where you'll see where I'm interviewing this Sergeant Jeremy. His last name escapes me at the moment, but he was actually hanging out of the helicopter, like hooking up the suspect. You see it right there. Obviously, the thing is flying, right? So it's not in a hangar. And we did an interview with him, and it was so cold that I couldn't feel my face, but I had to be like, yeah, that's really interesting. One of the guys one of the public affairs officers we were with, it was like 30 degrees. He's like, this is warm. It's almost croc and like shorts weather. So very cold. I don't know, Renee, what do you think? What did you experience? You can say it off camera that you thought was wild.
It was just flying literally into the mountains, just right up against these beautiful snow-covered peaks. Pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but I totally agree. Flying in those mountains was pretty remarkable. Were you scared at all when the helicopter? She's saying, you know, I will admit, I think I was scared. I think you can probably agree with this. I was scared we went in the Susby. That thing was nuts. That's this little tank thing that you see them in the background loading up, and it's got no suspension. So that we get in there literally within 30 seconds. I was like, all right, we're going to go. And we just go over this like snow berm, and it goes up and then like literally straight down. And they told us we had to wear helmets. And we were like, well, we don't have to wear helmets. Literally within 30 seconds, my head hit the ceiling. Renee with like her giant brand new camera. We were like, oh my God. It's just what happens. You know, this stuff is not like staged. You don't really know what you're going to expect, what to expect until you actually do it. What did you think about when the helicopter broke?
I did not understand what was happening because I wasn't on the comms, so I just was like, oh, did we already pick up the suspect? Did I miss that? But it was no biggie. Like,
it's true.
They moved to the other helicopter, we were headed off like 10 minutes later.
Yep, that's exactly right. So there was two CH-47 Chinooks, that's one of the Chinooks right there, and a Black Hawk. And we were in one of the Chinooks, and it took off, and they were flying around, and we came back and landed. And later on, we heard in the comms, you can hear in the episode, they're like, oh, there's like oil coming out of one of the engines. And it was no big deal for them. Seriously, it was like not a big deal. But we landed, and all ran off to the other helicopter. We took off, and there was nothing. It's like 5 minutes or so of our lives. But it just shows the professionalism. Here, this is me telling exactly that. And that's Jeremy Maddox. This is the interview where literally my eyelashes were frozen together. And now that you know it, you're never going to look at that the same. It was very, very cold. So, all right. Any other questions from you guys that I should talk about?
What should people watch after this episode?
Ooh. Definitely don't watch the CNN thing. You didn't hear it from us, but they're copying us. Yes. We did a BC2 episode. We did a B2, which was wild. If you like this episode and you love the stuff in Alaska, please check out our other episodes. Again, it's the USS 4, which is the Navy's newest aircraft carrier, the MAGTAF, which is the Marines' like sort of amphibious assault force, which is wild. And then the B-52, which is one of the oldest. It is the oldest flying bomber. And then, of course, the B-2 stealth bomber, which was wild, right? So I was the only 820th person in its 30-year history to ever fly in a B-2 stealth bomber. Wild, wild, wild episodes. You know, it takes a lot of time to get these done. So if you like the Alaska episode, you got to check out the B-2. I think that's where you start. But please binge away, especially Memorial Day weekend coming. If you're home, if it's the weather's not so nice outside, kill a couple of hours and watch these things. And again, just make sure you subscribe. All right. Let's see if we can get to 1,000. We're almost there. Any other questions you guys want me to address? So close. I see the numbers. Come on, almost 900.
What was harder, the 12-hour flight out to Alaska
yeah.
or the Susky drive?
That's actually tough. The flight to Alaska, Renee's not exact. Was it 12 or 14 hours?
12-ish.
12-ish. Okay. That was nuts. That was totally nuts. So we flew from New York. We left at 4 and we arrived at 4 a.m. our time, right? I think that's what it was, but it was like midnight in Anchorage. And the flight out was just as difficult because you had to do, it's like a 1 a.m. flight. So the question was, was the flight out there harder than the Susky? Well, let me just give a shout out to Alaska Airlines, who totally worked with us and hooked us up. So the flight wasn't bad, just long. I think the Susky was was probably more terrifying. Yeah, please send complaints to Dana, who's on here, about putting us in a Susky. By the way, no seatbelts in that thing, right? I don't recall if there were seatbelts. I wasn't wearing one. If there was, I'm not sure it would have done a heck of a lot, to be honest with you. And no airbags. That was the joke we made. Absolutely. It's just a steel, like literally a steel box with a cushion in it and a steering wheel. That's it. Anything else? What else should we say? Anything? Oh, here we go. We got one from Alan. Alan's asking how cold was it when we were. Alan, I don't remember these things, man. I just remember it was cold. Anything below 30 degrees is cold for me, man. It was. I know in the car it was like -1, -2.
I would say the coldest days were. There was one day where the wind chill was like -20.
Yeah, no, that's right. I don't. So I know for the recorded temperature, it was negative, but that's not including the wind chill. I mean, it literally like you.
The day was 20 or 30. It was tropical.
Tropical. They had their Hawaiian shirts on. It was so cold that you couldn't actually wear like normal gloves. Like your exposed skin, it hurt. So this is the environment that they operate in all the time. That's pretty remarkable. They got down to -5, they're saying. Oh yeah, there was a seatbelt. No, there was. These things are, in a weird way, it's like they're so intense that it's hard to sometimes remember. Like if we didn't have a film crew and we're filming this, it's hard to remember exactly what happened. But even with that seatbelt, Dana, that was like. It's not like I felt like the most secure in that thing. Like when you go up a berm and you're looking straight down, the entire ground fills your windscreen. Those things are amazing, and the people who are driving it, they just send it. I appreciated that they dialed it back about to 10% because they knew that we were like, oh my god. All right, we're almost at 9:50. Come on, we could do it. Oh, okay. So I don't want to. I want you to watch the last episode, but I can tell you, we just finished filming in Wyoming with Minuteman ICBMs, which was wild. Again, nothing clearly as beautiful as being in Anchorage. That's going to be a really wild episode. Can't wait to share that with you. It's honestly a toss up between the beauty of the Chugach Mountains, and like literally touching a nuclear missile. All right. Yes, I was laughing. But Alan, laughter, as you know, as a veteran, laughter is the best way that we deal with discomfort, right? That's true. I was. Anything? What else anything else we need to cover? We got to make it. We got to stick till at least we got 1,000 views, because we're at 963, which I was told there would be no math here, but we're at 35 more to go. What was your best moment?
I would say as brutally as cold as it was when the Black Hawk was flooding.
Oh, that was wild.
That open field. You'll see it in a minute here, but that was pretty cool.
Do you remember when the Black Hawk got like buzzed so long that Alan fell?
Oh, they were actually called. Not pictured, but.
That's right. We didn't. We that was for national security purposes. We weren't allowed to show the PAOs falling. No, it was pretty wild. You know what struck me though? We were driving and we saw all the bald eagles, and we're like, oh my God, there's all these bald eagles. First of all, bald eagles, beautiful birds. They look ridiculous when they're sitting in trees because they look like a gym rat that's skipped leg day. Their legs are like just look silly. So they're all sitting in these trees. I think it was I can't remember who said it to us, but they're like, oh yeah, those are trash eagles. What do they call them? Yes. Basically, we were sitting like, oh, the majesticness of Alaska, and it turns out that there's a like a landfill nearby, and that's why they're hanging out there. Kind of took a little bit out of the mystique of that, but it was pretty wild just to walk out and see that wild. Just I've never seen so many bald eagles in my life. We need 8 more people, and we're at 1,000. Come on, you can do it. 8 more people. Come on, Crystal.
You should tell us the subway story.
The subway story? Alan and Dana, do you know this story? Did I tell you this? So the public affairs officers very nicely got us lunch. And I was too nervous, just too busy to eat it before we flew. So I jammed it in my knapsack. We're flying around, grabbing the knapsack, moving in and out of things. And we get into the susvi, and I'm like, man, it smells like salt and vinegar in here. I was like, this place, this smells rank. And then, of course, like after that, I opened my knapsack and I realized that the sandwich they'd given me was like completely shredded, and that's why it stunk. It was me. It was my sandwich. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. So I was trying to throw some shade at the Army for having questionable smelling equipment, and actually it was me. So that's a little Easter egg. I don't think you're going to see in the episode. I had to come back and I actually had to wash that bag. So yeah, that was, we did it. We did 1,004. All right. That was pretty cool. All right. I think we're going to wind this down. I don't know what that means. She's giving me hand signals, and I'm like,
the link is in the comments. Make sure to check
oh,
out the full episode.
Yes. Can we, Mark, if you're listening, could you send one more round of comments with a full episode link, and then we'll cut this off? But yes, please watch the video, not just for us. I think it's really important. Oh, I should also tell you, in honor of the Alaskan National Guard, you can see that's one of their combat patches. I think their call sign was Yeti, hence the Yeti. And of course, I had to copy Dana, so I've got this too. And that's in the episode. Yeah, if you could, listen, please watch the episode, subscribe, comment. All joking aside, it's really, the National Guard is the closest thing to a citizen soldier, right? Because while there are some full-time members of the Guard, they serve where they live, they serve their communities. It's a really important mission. It's really important that the average American understands what they do and how important it is. So, please watch the episode. Really want to make sure that people, know about this. And I mean, there's stuff that I didn't know about, and I think it's really important to learn about this stuff and make sure that we know how important and essential the Guard is, especially for not just for Alaska, although it is, but the Alaskan National Guard is how essential it is to the national security of this country. So please watch the episode. Mark, can you throw another quick round of links before we cut the feed? Oh yeah. God, I have so many bad jokes right now. What platforms can we find us again?
Instagram.
I was going to try. You don't even want to know what I was going to say. Yeah, you can find us at Instagram, of course, our YouTube channel on Unconventional YouTube. We are at 250,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for everyone who subscribed. That is amazing, considering the channel has only been in existence since October of last year. I think we have something like a million or so watch out. It's just the numbers are amazing. So we're so grateful for you guys to watch this. We want to hear your feedback. Please follow us on Instagram. We're trying to build our Instagram. You'll get sneak peek previews of stuff we're doing before the episodes come. And of course, follow Newsweek. This is a Newsweek product, and we couldn't do this without the dumpster chickens. Thank you, Alan. That was the term, dumpster chickens, and reference to the eagles that live at the dumps. So yeah, no, it's really, really important to just know about the Guard. Please follow Newsweek. Newsweek is why we're able to do this. This is obviously a big, big risk, and we're incredibly lucky that they give us kind of freedom to make these amazing episodes. So with that, I'm gonna just one more time before we do. Can you guys hit Mark up? He can hear us. Did he say? Oh, great. Okay, Mark, can you do it on Twitter and all the other ones just before I cut the feed one more time? Is that possible? Can you? I guess you'd have to reshare it. I'll give you like another minute or another 45 seconds to just see if we can do that, so people who are watching can get this. Last chance. Any comments? I know I've got some from the Alaska folks. What were you thinking when the Chinook broke while we were flying? Yeah, we covered that. Yeah, I think we've answered everything. And Alan, just the Alaska Guard folks are confirming Yeti is their call sign for the helicopters that we saw. And here's a question you could answer if you post on our Unconventional site, YouTube site. Who do you think is the most bougie aviator? What platform do you think is? And there's unanimous thing that I've heard from pilots, and I won't tell you what it is. But it is unanimous. But let me know what you think. Is it a fighter pilot? Is it a bomber pilot? Is it something else? You might be surprised to learn. So with that, thank you very much for spending 30 minutes with me. Unbelievable. We were expected to do like 2 minutes. And I hate to cut it off because it's still climbing. But we've got work to do, unfortunately. Thank you again. Please, please, please follow us. Please, please, please follow the Alaskan National Guard. Let everyone know how important they are. Watch the episode, comment, share, like, and subscribe. And we'll look forward to seeing you down the line. Thanks again, everyone.